I want to talk to you guys more specifically about high megapixel count cameras and why they can ruin your photography completely. Let me tell you something, because these days marketing people love to drive you nuts with these high numbers, and don't get me wrong, they're very exciting, they're very useful if you need it. Unless you're pixel peepers and just like to analyze individual kind of dots on the screen, and then that is a slightly different story. But let's consider most of our needs. You know, as a photographer, how often do you print, and how big do you print, and how much of the time you're going to basically view your images on screen. So these three things are very important factor to decide whether you do need those high numbers or not. For instance, even for me, you know, like I shoot professionally, I got all my money through photography and filmmakings. I get paid for my photographer clients who never ever complain about my work nor the resolutions. They print canvases and things like that up to A3 size, oh sorry, not A3, A1 size, so that's even that big. A1 is actually quite big size, and they never really complain about my file size. So that is only coming from a 20 megapixel Olympus cameras, and so I don't see the problem of having less than 40, because like these days everyone seems to think that, you know, anything lower than 40 is considering as low resolutions, and I don't know where they get it from, but anyway. So there are a few downsides about having a high megapixel count, because that could distract you as an artist, as a photographer. People always think that, oh, 20 is just not enough these days. And look, you know, if you look at all the ambassadors from Olympus, not that they're biased, but look at their work, look at the stuff that they produce. You know, they print canvas size, wall size prints with no problem. It's all about how your printer is, how capable they are, and yeah, everything can be done. Even having said that, you know, and Olympus does have high res mode. I know it can only be used in certain situations, but it's there for you if you really need it. But I never really kind of used it, and for my type of work, it's very important to understand that the distraction from it, because these days, whenever new camera come out, they always have a higher megapixel sensor, and people would just say, oh, that must be a better camera. No, that's not it. You know, I think all cameras these days are very capable, and you will never get a bad camera these days. You are a photographer, you're really there to capture the image that you love, that you treasure, you know, and I mentioned about the three reasons. Let's talk about them now. Okay, first of all is print size. Well, how big do you normally print your photographs? If you don't print, you can skip this part completely, but if you do, and yeah, listen carefully, because I do print big sometimes. You know, I print A4, A3 size almost constantly for my clients, and anything bigger, A1 or A0 sizes, they are very special, and you know, they are really looking for like canvases that hang onto the wall and something like that. But even that, it's still plenty. The 20 megapixel can produce interpolated by a printer to create these really, really gorgeous photos. And then, but please understand, when you're having print big, and then you are not supposed to look close, and then you are really supposed to actually stand back and view the image from at least 6 feet away. So it's not something you're going to go close up and start analyzing, not pixel, but you know, go up to like very up close to see like really details of the fibers and things that are on the actual canvas itself, but you don't do that. And so in that case, you never really need the higher megapixels. And also, you know, if you look at the in general the commercial world, if you go outside, look at the billboards, and if you ever go up close, they're never sharp anyway, you know, because they're designed to view from distance, not close up. A lot of people don't understand that. They always think that they need like high megapixel to generate bigger prints, but no, you don't. And even from normal printers, professional printers, you know, they've seen 20 megapixel files all the time, 2024, they still manage to print huge, and then without any problems. So there you go, you know, you don't really need that unless you are someone who needs to crop things, and then that may be a different story. Then there are those who are just simply viewing their images on screen, and yeah, which is actually majority of us modern day photographers. And well, of course I have to produce prints for my clients, even albums and canvases, but most of ours need these days is to showcase our work digitally, either via iPad or show them on the 4K TV screens, and yeah, through your phones and tablet computers. So there you go. Do you need high megapixel for those? Probably not, unless you're really starting to pinch in and showing your customer how much detail you can capture, but that again is actually a distracting things to do. I don't tend to do that because it's a wrong type of education for your clients as well, and so all they care about is capturing nice images for them. And in fact, you know, the high megapixel might be working adversely, simply because if you're shooting a beautiful lady who's so happen to have bad skin day, and if you want to create more work for yourself, the high megapixel cameras will definitely help. And otherwise, you know, it's super fine, you know, because you're not going to see all the pores and all the defects on the day, and yeah, it's not going to be that bad. You will see it even with 20 megapixel, but it's not going to be as severe as a, let's say, a 40 or 60 megapixel cameras, because you can really blow them big to a pixel level. And to most people, if they're viewing on screen, they really don't really care, to be honest. You know, as long as they can see their beautifully composed and lit up photo, and that's all they want to see. So this is all about managing your client's expectations, which is something that I talked about before. And so yeah, there you go. Do you need high megapixel? No, certainly not. Finally, Photography 101 is all about improving your photography, and one of the reasons I want to create this video is to highlight to you guys that don't get distracted by all these marketing material they say, especially they are more favoring high megapixel, because that is kind of, yeah, I can understand, something to scream about. But as a photographer, it's more important for you to learn your craft, creating beautiful images, compose it correctly, choose your light appropriately, and tell your story. And that's more important than anything else, regardless whether you only have 3 megapixel camera or 103 megapixel. It doesn't really matter at all. And you see competition these days, people using very primitive cameras, and they win it, and they still take big prizes. So at the end of the day, a better camera doesn't make you a better photographer, so don't forget that. And anything you pick up these days on the street is very capable, very good. And I choose Olympus. This is just my preference. I love the cameras and lenses and just how I prefer to use the system. But you know, if you are Panasonic user, Canon, Nikon, no matter what, it doesn't really matter. And yeah, it's all good. And so in photography, there's no enemy. You know, we're all friends, we're all photographers, we all like to share our skills and inspire each other with their images, and so am I. I mean, I like to inspire people. And speaking of which, I'm going to organize a London walkabout in the near future. If you guys really want to join me in London, and leave some comment down below, and also stay tuned within our community page, and I'm going to announce something. Also follow our Facebook as well, we're going to announce the date there. So until next time though, hope you enjoyed the video, and speak to you soon. Bye for now.